Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today we're doing a practice that prepares us to sleep, something we've always known what to do, but sometimes it's hard to slip into sleep and shift the energy so that we can make that uh, downward motion into sleep. We're going to be drawing on Ayurvedic traditions. That's the indigenous medicine from India to think about some of this and experience it. We'll also have a poem from Rita Dove about being ambushed by beauty. Just make sure that we're muted here. Everybody, please take a seat where you can be comfortable. Hips a little higher than knees. Place where you can be and relax down. Perhaps first a little lifting up through the spine, a little tuck in the chin, and then a heavying down of shoulders, down through the arms, a heavying down through neck and torso, heart, down into belly. Letting the weight of the head and the heart come down into the belly, and the weight of the belly rest down into earth. First, ensuring that you can breathe fully. Room for the diaphragm to expand the ribs, the side and the back. And let the air flow gently out. Allowing the breath to calm and lengthen. At your own pace, 3 or 4 counts on the inhale, a pause at the top, and then a longer exhale, 5 or 6 counts. Find your rhythm. The exhale down regulates the body, the mind. Suggestion now to add some rhythmic vibrations to your breathing. Exhaling with a soft om on each exhale. And if you do this, we can do it for 10 times. So each person on their own, long exhales with om 10 times. letting the vibrations go, lest the wolves lose their whistles and shopkeepers inquire. Keep moving. Though your knees flush red as two chapped apples, keep moving, head up. Past the beggar's cold cup, past fires banked under chestnuts, and the trumpeting kiosks' tales of odyssey and heartbreak, until turning a corner, you stand staring, ambushed by a window of canaries, bright as 1,000 golden narcissi. Rhythm and repetition are important in preparing for sleep. The aim here is to change the energy field. We need to change the energy field from the day of wind and fire to the earthy grounding of sleep. Let's start with a lazy side bend, bringing one hand down to one side on the mat, and slowly opening up the lateral line. As you come through center, just letting the hips rest down, letting the hand against the mat ground down into the earth. Finding your own rhythm. And coming up through center, arms come wide, an easy thoracic twist through the ribs and shoulders. Ayurveda is a science of self-healing, a sister science of yoga. If yoga ultimately comes to self-actualization and oneness with the universe, Ayurveda ensures that you can live long enough to accomplish that. Coming back through center, cross the arms, bring them up across the front of the body, gaze lifts slightly, reaching out and letting everything come down, down, feeling that effortless part of the fountain as the water lifts up and gives itself to gravity. Staying in rhythm with time is one of the basic foundations of Ayurveda. Seasons of the year, night and day, even the seasons of our lives. One last time. Oh, the droplets of water sinking down, bringing moisture to the earth. Unfolding the legs, extending one leg or both if that's better for you. Bringing the heart in line with the knee, soft behind the knee. A very soft forward movement. A soft C shape to the spine. And maybe you stay there, coming inward, letting the energy meet the water and the earth, the matter of the body. And lifting up and bringing that to the other side. Allowing senses to come inward. And coming back up. In Ayurvedic philosophy, misuse of the senses is one of the major causes of dis-ease. So you're not at ease if your senses are being misused. And that partly means aligning them with night and day. So as we come into the night, we want to bring ease to our senses. Rub the hands together to bring some warmth. And covering the eyes, the seeing sense. In Ayurvedic, associated with fire. And so to sleep, we dim the fire of day, coming into dim light, turning off screens, perhaps coming into candlelight, indirect light, a clean, clear, calm place to sleep. And once again, rubbing the palms together. This time bringing them over the ears, hearing, associated with space and vibrations. To sleep, we quiet the sound vibrations. Maybe avoiding TV or any violence, perhaps news on TV. Avoiding blaring music. Perhaps finding some soft music or the sound of flowing water. When we come to nose and smell, bring your forefinger and middle finger up the sides of the nose, pressing on both sides and coming up and across the brow, around and once more up the sides of the nose, and fingers is flowing, draping down across the face and the neck. Just repeating that motion. The nose and smell are associated with earth. So bringing something soothing. If you're of a hot constitution, maybe some cooling coconut oil on the inside of elbows or behind the ears, on the face, behind the knees. If you are of a cool temperament, some heating sesame oil. Some kind of pleasing aroma that the mind and body associates with sleep. This time, let's let our fingers flow down over face, neck, breastbone, solar plexus, all the way down to the abdomen. Then coming to the mouth, the sense of taste, working the tongue around against gums and top of mouth, bottom of mouth, teeth. Maybe rubbing the hinges of the jaws, feeling the saliva in your mouth. Taste is associated with water in Ayurveda. We want to be hydrated when we sleep, yet not overfull of water. We want to be fed, yet not overfull of food. Ayurveda advises that it's best to eat 2 hours before going to bed. And if one eats anything before bed, maybe a banana, some herbal tea, some golden milk, using some kind of milk with ginger and cardamom, cinnamon, turmeric, warming spices, maybe some calcium and magnesium. And the final sense of touch. Let's bring our palms very lightly together so we just feel the lightest touch on the skin. And perhaps touching the backs of the hands, in between the fingers. To sleep, skin needs to be aligned with temperature. You might bring your little bouncing fingertips onto your thighs, letting the skin know it can relax. Aligning with temperature, neither too hot nor too cold, neither too dry nor too moist. Ayurveda often advises some kind of lotion or oil. rubbed on the bottom of the feet or the palms or other parts of the body. A humidifier, a massage, just a self-massage anywhere on the body, a soft blanket. Now let's come to a standing position. Finding a mountain pose, feeling your feet underneath your hips, feeling the weight of the body coming down through crown, skull, shoulders, hips, heels, perhaps swaying from balls to heels in a rhythmic way. Routine, rhythm, and ritual are all important to sleep. You might think about your routine before you go to sleep. Tea, a shower, bath, a book, a quiet time, a hug with a pet or human, perhaps some movement to relax with, to stretch out, and to let tension go. Some rhythmic movement before you go to sleep or in the middle of the night is sometimes helpful to slip you back into sleep. And let that rhythmic movement include some grounding down with breath and body. Bring the feet just a little wider apart. And we're going to shake, just lifting and falling the body very gently. Allowing senses to relax, neck to soften, softening coming down the arms, into wrists, into the tips of each finger. Shaking this relaxation down through heart that doesn't have to pump quite so hard as you let tension go. Lungs that can quiet. Liver, stomach, intestines, kidneys, pelvic floor. Softening down behind the knees, the ankles, into the bottom of the feet, into all 5 of the toes. And you can shake for a minute or 2 or 3. Coming to a standing position, we're going to push up a cloud. Let's inhale as we have our hands at our chest, a little fold in, inhaling here, and exhaling, soft in all the joints as you bounce up a cloud, very soft. Inhaling center, soft through shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Exhaling up into the cloud. Letting all the tension go into that cloud, which will float away. Coming back through center. One hand palm pushes up, one hand palm pushes down. Inhaling to center and exhaling. Let there be grounding down through the side of the body where the palm is going down, down, extending down into the foot. It sinks down into the mud of the earth. With hand and foot, let belly relax. Not overthinking what is happening. Letting the body take over. And bringing hands into an orb, holding a ball of energy or light in front of the heart. Breathing in that energy through fingertips and around arms into the heart. Ayurveda also argues that nature is an important part of our relaxation. So we become aware of the moon at night. Bring your spine into a spiral through ribs and shoulders as you gaze up at the moon, making a frame for the moon with the fingers. Inhale, center, and exhale. Eyes open, allowing the tension to escape, allowing the moonlight to flow in. We stay in rhythm with the moon that affects our very bodies, our very oceans. And coming back through center, bring the weight into the left foot, right foot comes out a step and goes towards the center, the corner of the room. Let the tides pull you out as weight comes forward and push you back as weight comes back. Surrendering to the pull and push of the moon, the waters of the ocean. Switching to the other side. Allowing the energy of wind and sun and fire to settle into the rhythmic tides of the water. Finding your own rhythm And coming back through center, bringing hands down onto thighs, skating back and forth, a slow, slow skate. Opening through groin, pelvic floor, the whole pelvic bowl, its inner ocean, washing from side to side. All the liquids of the body coming into a steady, slow, rhythmic motion. Centering for a moment, hands stay where they are, turning the heart towards the right knee, coming down the side of the mountain, across the valley, up the other side of the valley. Nodding the head and wagging the tail to calm the heart. Feeling that downward motion of the heart towards the earth. And rising up, bringing the weight once again into the left foot, right foot stepping forward, pointing to the corner. As your weight switches back from the back foot to the front foot, the hands just run over the surface of the water. Perhaps you imagine yourself standing in some warm water, or just two pools of water on either side of you. The skin, the touch, the vibration of the rippling water. Perhaps your movement slows as you repeat the movement. Perhaps you imagine yourself in a beautiful place in nature. This link with nature, so important to our calming. Bringing hands back and coming to the other side. A walk in nature during the day can reverberate into your night. Bringing yourself into consciousness of the stars, the moon, the dark, the trees, swaying in the breezes of night, the rain. And then coming back to center. Ayurveda also teaches that we should be in sync with our constitutions, the natures of our bodies, minds, and emotions. Vata is the name of one of the constitutions that Ayurveda brings attention to. We all have parts of these natures within us, although we might be dominated by one. Vata is air, spiritual, creative, sometimes a little spacey and ungrounded. Coming down into a forward fold, we need to balance that airiness with grounding. letting hips be high, knees soft. To the extent possible, allowing the spine to decompress, a little space between each of the vertebrae, like a necklace of pearls, dangling down, down towards the earth. Perhaps going over to one side, finding that dangle of pearls once again. Coming through center and over to the other side. Coming back through center, let fingertips come to the shins and trace their way up the front of the legs. The second constitution that Ayurveda talks about is pitta, fire. Bend the elbows, soft fists are pointing upwards, knees are bent slightly. One fist turns over and punches forward, the other elbow goes back slightly. This also can be part of the calming. It's rhythmic. Part of the calming perhaps for this personality that's very fiery, productive, always moving, sometimes over-ambitious, sometimes overdoes it. Perhaps changing this into bringing the arms forward, palms facing each other, fingers loose, hips come back. Then arms come back, hips rise slightly forward as if you're skiing down the mountain very slowly. Within complete magical control, able to give yourself to the mountain, give yourself to gravity, and be in perfect balance. And then rising up from that, the final constitution or nature of body, mind, and emotions is kapha. Feet a little wider apart, just bouncing a bit with palms soft, palms upward. Kapha is the constitution that is most closely associated with earth and water. It's grounded and stable. Sometimes a little stuck, a little muddy. If this constitution dominates, you might need a little lift, coming into a very gentle star, a gentle swaying, sparkling back and forth. Evening is the time of kapha, grounded and steady. We want to nurture that slow, steady quieting in the evenings, the slowing down. Ayurveda, coming into mountain, you can just sway as you like here. I think swaying is a very good calming, rhythmic preparation for sleep. Ayurvedic advises to sleep by 10 p.m. They divide the day into sections, and in this section, pitta within the body, the fire of the inner body, is active between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And science points to that. Digestion, some important digestion is done during this time. Some storing of long-term memories. Something called autophagy, where the liver sends out little cells throughout the body They're like janitors that clip and chip off the debris of cells. They get rid of the old cells. It's a renewing of the cells that takes place in this first part of the night. Of course, we always have to forgive ourselves also if we don't get to bed by 10 p.m. Bring your feet wider apart. Let the hands come down and walk forward into a wide kind of downward dog, but with complete foundation in hands and feet. Feeling the heavy warmth of the palms, of the bottoms of the feet. Knees are soft, shoulders soft down into hands. Then let the knees come down and we'll come into puppy pose with hands wide on the mat in front of the shoulders, letting the chest, the heart come down towards the earth. Long exhales here. Letting the body down regulate. Coming back into child's pose. Finding your version. A pillow under the forehead is sometimes nice. Hands can come under the pillows. Hands can come under the forehead right now. Letting the mind sift down completely into the gut brain. Letting the gut brain, the intuition of the body, completely take over. And coming up towards tabletop, bringing the right hand and arm underneath the armpit of the left, coming down into thread the needle on the side of the shoulder and the side of the head, hips centered over the heels, relaxing down. Letting the stomach and the intestines be quite soft here. And then lifting up, planting the right hand, bringing the left arm in under and through, bringing the body down to earth. And lifting up, sliding the hands forward, four arms on the earth, coming into Sphinx. The best of the prone poses to both open the front, relax through the back. Letting eyebrows, cheeks, jaws be open. The jaw might even be hanging open slightly. Long, smooth spine. Shoulder blades relax down, bringing softness down into the glutes. Softness down through breastbone and solar plexus into the depths of the pelvic bowl. Pelvic floor relaxed. Feeling the touch of the thighs, the knees, the feet is melting into earth. And then we'll roll over onto our backs, coming into a lying position. Feeling the places that are in touch with the earth. Letting the skull go down, down into the earth. Shoulder blades. Hands might be on abdomen or palms up beside. Listening to what the body needs. Hips descending down into earth. Calves, heels. As if you can imagine the vibrations of the earth cradling you, coming into sync with your own vibrations. Each organ with its own frequency, vibrating with the earth. Hug one leg up towards the body. And then the other leg, long exhales, letting the pressure of the leg relax down through the body. And hugging both knees, bringing the hands over the kneecaps and turning the knees in the same direction so that you are circling around the sacrum in the back of the body. Around the other direction. Feeling all the minute nooks and crannies that enter into this movement, into this rhythm. Then coming back through center, cross one thigh over the other, gently bringing the legs towards the chest, relaxing down behind the heart and the waist. Always coming back to the jaw, the tongue, the neck. Coming up into happy baby. Other thigh crosses over the opposite thigh, bringing the slight pressure of the legs into the center of the hara, the dantian, the belly. letting that core of your being melt down into the earth, into soil, down through rocks, into the very diamond fire at the middle of the earth. And coming back into happy baby once again, perhaps rocking this time back and forth. Bring the legs so that one foot with knee bent is on the mat, coming into figure 4, ankle on thigh, lifting up the leg, allowing a stretch from the side of the hip, the top of the thigh bone, across to the middle of the spine, sacrum. Allowing leg and foot to ease into that. Bringing ease across the sacrum, the shoulders, and the back of the neck. Let the foot float back down. Other foot with bent knee comes onto the mat. Figure 4, as ankle goes onto thigh, lift the leg. Finding that ease, the stretch, the letting go from side of hip through center of body. Toes relaxed. Eyes deep in their sockets. Even the gums of the mouth soft. And releasing that down, keeping the position of the ankle on the thigh, bringing the palm of the hand on the same side as the figure 4 leg into the inner thigh with a slight pressure. Bringing ease from knee down through hip, letting that resonate, softening the muscles in the deepest abdomen. Muscles that connect the hip, the thigh bone, up through the sacrum and lumbar spine. Allowing that relaxation to ripple up through the spine, through all the curves, the back of the body, the back of the neck, up around the skull, to the forehead, down across the cheeks, the front of the neck, breastbone, deep into the diaphragm, and back into those softening abdominal muscles. Unwind and bring the other ankle up on the thigh. The palm of the hand on the figure 4 leg comes against the inner thigh of that leg. Let that gentle pressure loosen the muscles, the fascia, all of the little cells, the liquids of the intestines. Again, bringing relaxation through all the vertebrae, the small ligaments and muscles connecting the vertebrae. Each one letting go just a little bit. Shoulder blades soft. Shoulders relaxing back. The spine of the neck loosening. The whole skull letting go. Face, throat, heart, and belly. Bringing that foot down, bring your legs straight up into the air. If you have a wall before you go to bed, you can bring your legs up against a wall or bring them over a couch or chair, over a bed. For now, just bringing our legs up, letting the body benefit from movement of lymph, blood, hormones, even the cerebrospinal fluid, all coming down towards the warm center of the body. Letting the breath and awareness exhale down into the deep core of the body, in the belly. And slowly bending the knees, coming to an easeful position. Maybe knees are leaning towards each other or extended out. Bringing the hands up to cap the head. Capping the top of the head, feeling connected. Bringing hands to the eyes, clear. Bringing hands to the sides of the heads, the ears, coming deep within. Bringing hands to cup lightly round the throat. Open, vibrating. Bringing hands onto the heart. Grateful. Hands on to the solar plexus. Calm. Hands on to the abdomen. Loving. Peaceful. May we be healthy and safe. May we find ease in the universe. May we keep moving heads up through odyssey and heartbreak. May we be ambushed by yellow daffodils and the sweet smell of Daphne. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. The world thanks you.